Dear parishioners, it has been 1 year since I have returned as your pastor. During this 12-month period, it has been my delight to renew old acquaintances, to meet new individuals, and to serve you to the best of my ability. As I am sure you have noted, I begin all my weekend homilies with the salutation, "My friends." I do so because on the occasion of the Last Supper, Jesus said to his apostles, "I no longer call you servants, I call you friends." This is who we are as a parish. We are a community of friends. We are bound to each other as friends by our common life in Jesus, by our acceptance of Jesus as our Lord, and by our willingness to live together his way of life. One thing that friends do is to care about each other and to care for those in need. In the parable of the Good Samaritan, Jesus defines the neighbor or friend as anyone who is in need, and he defines as good anyone who responds to their need. Jesus also defines ultimate love as laying down one's life for a friend who is in need. And because Jesus looked upon humanity not simply as anonymous faces, but as his friends, he laid down his life freely, not for some, but for all, not to save some, but to save all. Here at St. Eulalia's, we take the idea of being a community of friends seriously, and rightly so. In numerous ways, we respond and reach out to others in need, and we do so generously. Let me review for you some of those service efforts, not in a self-congratulatory manner, but in a way that is meant to help you appreciate how we, as parishioners of St. Eulalia, live out as a community the gospel notion of friendship. Every Saturday, for over 30 years, parishioners of St. Eulalia's have been going to St. Matthew's Parish in Dorchester. Volunteers go to a central food bank, collect food and bring it to St. Matthew's. Then on Saturday morning, other volunteers from St. Eulalia's distribute the food to the needy who come, and come they do. Twice a month on Tuesday evenings, men from the parish men's group and women from the women's prayer group go to the homeless shelter in Davis Square in Somerville and provide a meal for the residents. Jared Blake, the parish youth minister, once a month takes a group of young parishioners to the supper program conducted at St. Patrick's Church in Lawrence for those in need. On occasion, after serving the supper, the young people come to my house, where we celebrate Mass together. In this way, they can appreciate the connection between being fed by the Lord with his body at Mass and feeding the needy, who are the Lord's body. Once a month, we have a parish food drive, when we collect your donations and distribute them to one of 6 different social agencies, such as Project Soup, Haley House, Bristol Lodge, the Woburn Council for Social Concern. The food collected obviously has to be brought to these places, and who does that? Other volunteers from the parish. The Right to Life Committee sponsors a drive that collects essentials for newborns, ranging from formula to diapers, blankets to bottles. And let me not forget to mention the many food baskets that get prepared and distributed by parish volunteers each Thanksgiving holiday, and the Giving Tree Advent Project that responds to hundreds of gift requests. Sometimes it is parishioners themselves who take the initiative and then bring other parishioners on board to help respond to individual and community needs. For example, the Pajama Drive, to help provide sleepwear for children in foster care. The Cradle to Crayon Drive, that provides essentials to homeless and low-income children. the toiletries collection for veterans, and the blood drive. These are all parishioner initiatives. Over the last 12 months, we have celebrated here at the parish 76 funerals. Death obviously produces feelings of loss and sadness. St. Eulalia's community is the only Catholic parish in the immediate area that offers bereavement sessions for those who suffer loss. In addition, we have a divorce care group that deals with a different type of loss, but one that needs to be attended to. And in the very near future, we will be putting together a cancer care group where individuals and families might have a place within the faith context to deal with this disease. Obviously, many within the community of St. Eulalia's know and understand what it means to be a community of friends, and they respond out of that definition in a tangible way. But how does St. Eulalia's stay rooted in its self-understanding of being a community of friends? One way is through our faith formation programs conducted both for children and adults. Christian education shapes hearts, informs minds, and it helps participants see that responding to need is not only a nice thing to do, but an essential way to live out the two great commandments: love God and love neighbor. But the principal way by which the community of St. Eulalia's is reminded that we are a community of friends responding to need is in the celebration of the Eucharist. Every celebration of the Eucharist is a memorial meal. It is a celebration that reminds us that Jesus was the God-man who came to this earth and was broken for the sake of the other. Jesus broke open his life daily for the sick, the poor, the widow, the marginalized, the crazed, and the despised. He allowed his life to be broken and poured out upon the cross for all sinners. And at the Eucharist, not only do we remember our divine Lord as the man for others, but we share in his very life. We become one with him so that our lives may be broken open for the good of those in need, both friend and enemy. The parish of St. Eulalia's as a community of friends is not simply an abstract idea. It is an actual group of people who gather together in actual buildings. This gathered people need to be warmed in the cold and cooled in the heat. They need lights to help them read their text and sing their songs at worship. They need spaces that are maintained and serviceable. They need a paid staff who can help them to be a community of friends and who can lead them in living a sacramental life, welcoming the newly baptized, praying for the dead. All this costs money. OSR, One Shared Response, is the single sole means of support for this community of friends. It not only pays parish staff salaries, covers insurance, and helps us meet our expenses, but most importantly, it is the very practical way that keeps this community of friends together and alive, so that we might continue to be Jesus' living presence responding to need. OSR was actually the idea of the founding members of this parish. They suggested the idea to the community's first pastor, Monsignor Lyons. He had the wisdom and the courage to enact it. OSR has stood the test of time, not only as a brilliant idea, but as an effective means for keeping the community of St. Eulalia's financially solvent. The good news is that we had 25 more pledges to the 2013 OSR campaign. Clearly, we are moving in the right direction, and I find that very encouraging. During this coming week, you will receive in the mail your 2014 OSR packet. Please read through the material. Pray about what you would like to tithe in order to preserve this community from want, so that we can respond to those who are in genuine want. Think not only in terms of what you would like to contribute financially, but what you would like to contribute in terms of your own time and talent. Human capital is an even more valuable asset to a parish than financial capital. It is a challenging role to be a pastor, but is one that I accept as a vocation. I thank you sincerely for the way that you live out your Catholic way of life. It edifies me. I thank you for the value you see in gathering here as a community of friends, week in and week out for worship. It strengthens me. And I thank you for your financial sacrifices on behalf of St. Eulalia's Church. It humbles me. Continue to pray for me as I do daily for you.